Some environmentalists are now fighting to keep Diablo Canyon open. They say it generates enough electricity to power 1.7 million homes while producing 0 greenhouse gases in the process.
Nuclear energy is important because our planet is facing a lot of challenges right now. Climate change, air pollution, killing millions of people per year. And Heather and I just really feel like we need to get serious about fighting those problems instead of fighting our fears about nuclear power. We've all been hearing that renewables are going to do it all for us, and we really believe that nuclear needs to be part of the solution along with renewables.
It will be years before California completes a large enough infrastructure to power every home with solar or wind energy. So in the meantime, the state is going to increasingly have to rely on natural gas, a fossil fuel that is far more warming than carbon dioxide.
Anytime we shut down our nuclear plants, we place more reliance on our gas infrastructure. And the more we have to use gas plants, the more we have to store it, the more we have to transport it. There's a lot of information showing now that there's a lot more leakage from the gas storage and transmission system than we previously knew, and methane is so much more damaging than carbon dioxide.
Residents here in Los Angeles' Porter Ranch neighborhood are still reeling from the worst methane leak in U.S. history, which took place at the storage facility right behind me. The deal to close the Diablo Canyon site now goes to the California Public Utilities Commission for approval. But if it is approved, California will experience some growing pains in the move toward a greener future. Reporting for the news with Ed Schultz in Porter Ranch, Brigida Santos, RT. According to the World Bank, there are 702 million people living in poverty today, and because of climate change, that number could jump by 100 million by 2030. The World Bank released a new report Sunday warning if the world doesn't act on climate change, it will be impossible to eradicate poverty. The report looked at how climate change could affect people with limited resources by analyzing the impact of climate change on agriculture and ecosystems, natural disasters, and global health issues. According to the report, climate change could result in global crop yield losses as large as 5% in 2030. Less available food means higher prices for what is available. And higher food prices hit poor people the hardest because they spend a higher percent of their budget on food. The World Bank says back in 2008, a spike in food prices sent 100 million people below the poverty line. Climate change can also cause extreme weather, which has a more devastating impact on the poor. The report says there could be heat waves, droughts, and floods. And climate change will likely greatly impact the spread of diseases. The report's authors fear warmer temperatures could lead to more cases of malaria and diarrhea, for instance. Warnings like this one from the World Bank aren't new. Last year, a UN panel warned that the effects of climate change can already be felt on every continent. That panel's report analyzed how global warming might impact food supplies over time. The report concluded that unless change is made, the poorest nations are in big trouble.